The slap echoed sharper than any thunderclap that summer afternoon in Ridgewood, Wyoming. One moment, I was yanking my wrist free. The next, his open palm connected with my face, snapping my head sideways. Pain bloomed hot across my cheek as I stumbled against the picnic table in our backyard. Before I could catch my breath, his fist drove into my ribs, folding me to my knees in the dry grass. Marcus Hale stood over me, breathing heavy, his face twisted with rage and beer. "That's a promise," he growled. Something small slipped from his jacket pocket, a USB drive on a keychain labeled Municipal Project Backup. He snatched it up fast, but not before I saw it clearly. My name is Lila Bennett. At 33, freshly divorced and broke, I'd moved back into my childhood bedroom in this quiet town of 8,500 souls. The water stain on the ceiling still looked like a leaping fish from when I was 12.
Mom.
Sophia remarried Marcus 5 years ago. He swept in with his booming construction company. Hale Builders, trucks everywhere, promises of stability and big-town projects. Now the house smelled of diesel and concrete dust instead of her old lavender sachets. His home office took over Dad's study. The garage overflowed with filing boxes and material samples. I worked compliance at Summit Energy, 12-hour days monitoring regulatory filings and internal controls. The irony burned daily. I spent my shifts demanding transparency from corporations while sharing a roof with a man whose business deals happened in whispers behind locked doors. Red flags piled up quietly at first. Invoices on the kitchen counter with repeated serial numbers. Delivery logs that didn't match the pallets stacked in the garage. Bid sheets for the $8.7 million smart streetlight upgrade that made my trained eye twitch. Numbers too neat. Margins too fat. Marcus controlled the money with an iron fist.
Mom.
Once a proud dental assistant who balanced her own checkbook, now asked permission for groceries. He reviewed every credit card statement, questioned every purchase. "Easier this way," he'd say, patting her shoulder. Those pats left invisible marks on her spirit. I started documenting discreetly, quick phone photos while pretending to scroll. A materials receipt here, a schedule mismatch there. My job drilled it into me. Patterns reveal everything. That Saturday, the heat hit 92 degrees. Mom was at book club. Marcus had been drinking Coors since noon, cans lining the deck railing. I sat at the kitchen table, laptop open, cross-checking photographed delivery logs against public procurement records online. He stormed in, slamming my keys down. "You took my truck last night." I hadn't. My sedan sat untouched in the drive, but his keys and mine hung side by side. "Mileage is off," he accused. "You think I don't check?" I closed the laptop slowly, but the procurement portal still glowed on screen. His eyes narrowed, darting from the display to my notebook filled with discrepancies. "You little," he lunged for the notebook. I pulled back. His grip locked on my wrist instead, yanking hard. We spilled into the backyard, him hissing threats inches from my face. "Delete everything. Mind your business or find out what happens to Snoops." The neighbor's dog barked wildly. I tried twisting free. His palm cracked across my cheek. Then the fist to my ribs dropped me. Through the pain, I noticed movement behind the weathered wooden fence separating our yard from Ethan Cole's. Shadows shifting in the gaps where boards had shrunk over years. Marcus stormed back inside, sliding door rattling. I stayed on my knees, cataloging injuries, purpling wrist, swollen cheek, bruised ribs. My compliance brain whispered, "Document everything." 20 minutes later, after locking myself in the bathroom, the doorbell rang. Marcus's voice boomed, then quieter tones. "Ethan, our neighbor, former detective turned night security supervisor." Conversation was short. After Ethan left, Marcus pounded the door. Nosy bastard checking on us. That evening, once Marcus left for poker and Mom returned, a soft knock sounded at the back door. Ethan stood there, holding a small memory card. Garden cameras caught an angle through the fence gaps, he said low. Saw what happened. Time-stamped. 30 years watching people lie at accident scenes taught me documentation matters. He pressed the card into my palm, eyes flicking to my bruised face. Bullies with city contracts think they're untouchable. Never liked the smell from his sights anyway, too much paint. Not enough real work. I didn't sleep. Instead, I built my safety net methodically. Urgent care, on Elm Street where Dr. Ramirez documented every mark with clinical care, asking quietly about domestic violence. I nodded. Extra photos. Detailed notes. The memory card held 43 minutes of clear footage. Marcus's face unmistakable in several frames. I uploaded copies to multiple encrypted clouds, emailed to alternate addresses, hid a backup USB in the one place he'd never look, my tampon box. At 3 a.m., I typed a detailed timeline email to myself, assault details, evidence locations, case reference numbers. Compliance training took over completely. I cross-referenced invoices against deliveries using my photos. Patterns emerged starkly. March order for 200 gallons traffic paint, but receipts showed 890. April concrete barriers billed for 500 units, but manifests listed only 420. Labor overstatements. Consultant fees, suspiciously just under review thresholds. The dropped USB suggested hidden municipal backups worth investigating. Shell company checks through state filings pointed to Marcus's nephew in Denver as registered agent, classic cutout. By dawn I'd flagged over $1.3 million in potential overbilling across 3 projects alone. The real total was surely higher. Monday I called in sick and drove to the restored Victorian housing Harlan and Page law firm on Center Street. Patricia Harlan, 60-something with steel-gray hair and sharp eyes, reviewed my evidence pack. The video played compellingly on her screen, clear angles, visible timestamp. Marcus's face unmistakable. Medical photos and notes added weight. We file for a temporary restraining order today, she said. But you're chasing more than protection. I laid out the fraud patterns. Her expression sharpened. Beyond my usual scope, but I have contacts at the State Attorney General's office. First, keep you safe. The TRO paperwork felt like armor. Patricia helped draft a safety plan, new bedroom locks, phone GPS tracker, speed dial emergency contacts, go bag in my car with cash and documents. Anonymous reporting? I asked. She smiled. County Auditor Portal is discreet. Ethics Committee website accepts tips with facts and docs only, no direct accusations. That night I submitted 2 anonymous reports, spreadsheets of discrepancies, photos of mismatched receipts, notes on suspicious shell company payments. One invoice photo showed duplicate billing for the same delivery. Different dates and serials, obvious red flag. At work I invoked domestic violence leave policy with HR, sliding over medical docs. They granted 2 weeks paid. I requested any performance inquiries route through legal channels. Firewalls against retaliation. The first domino fell fast. Judge signed the TRO Tuesday at 2:47 p.m. Marcus would be served at his office. I waited in my locked bedroom. Heart hammering. Explosion came at 4:15 via Mom's panicked call. Rylan, what have you done? Police at his office with a court order. He's furious. He assaulted me.
Mom. Documented. Video.
Medical records. Silence stretched. You've been snooping his files? Not concerned for my bruises. But his business. He can't come near me now. TRO keeps him 100 yards away. I packed and moved to a hotel room Patricia arranged under the firm's account. Wednesday morning brought momentum. County auditor fast-tracked review after spotting duplicate billing in my tip. Inquiry letter requested docs. Copied to city departments. Payments frozen pending audit. Cash flow choked. Ethics committee dug deeper into shell payments. Nephew subpoenaed. I spent leave days in the law firm conference room building timelines with forensic accountant James Kovac. Meticulous work, he whistled. Half an audit already. We uncovered 2 more shells. Rotating invoice patterns. Total potential fraud climbing toward $2.1 million over 18 months. The Smart Streetlight project revealed greed. Consultant fees clustered just under $50,000 review thresholds. All same week. Subcontractors filed liens for non-payment after hearing a freeze, totaling hundreds of thousands. One pulled thread unravel more. Friday, Mom texted frantically about Marcus on nonstop calls with lawyers and city officials. I explained the reviews stemmed from his own practices, not me directly. That evening, Patricia called. City Council emergency session placed contracts under formal review. Details leaked to Wyoming Business Journal, story running next day. Someone tired of corruption lit the match. Saturday's Business Journal headline screamed scrutiny and payment freezes. Mom texted begging me home. Claiming misunderstanding. Marcus wanting to talk. I drove over when she was alone. We sat at the kitchen table where the wrist grab happened days earlier. She fidgeted. He accused me of planting evidence. I opened my laptop. Showed public notices. Auditor letters. Ethics announcements. 3 agencies investigating. I reported discrepancies anonymously after he assaulted me. She winced at assaulted. He was drinking. Passionate about work. I slid over a simplified folder, highlighted duplicates. Inflated bills. Shell trails. This invoice bills $47,000 for concrete barriers. Shipping shows $31,000 delivered. Difference routed to nephew's company. Then back. Mom stared. How much? Over $2 million documented. Likely more. Quiet stretched. She admitted sensing something off. Cash for toys but complaints over groceries. Locked cabinets. I suggested family law attorney to separate finances before asset freezes. House title in my name too, she whispered, suddenly looking every one of her 58 years. That evening she called, found handwritten ledger in his office. Names. Amounts. Dates. Council members. Procurement officers. Bribery disguised as fees. Poker losses. Donations. Powerful people, she breathed. Take photos of every page carefully. Then replace exactly, I instructed. Sunday we met at my hotel over Chinese takeout. She showed ledger photos, meticulous handwriting recording comprehensive kickback scheme. I married a criminal. Or a man who became one, and hid it well. A knock. Ethan with homemade lasagna from his wife. Heard you're here. Figured home cooking helps. He tipped his cap to Mom. Sorry for your troubles. Mom decided to file separation. Lawyer said filing before charges might protect innocent spouse assets. Marcus texted her manipulative pleas. She showed me, don't let her poison us. I never hurt this family. Her voice hardened. He still thinks I'm weak. You're not. She scrolled ledger photos. Just done being blind. Thursday Patricia called. Firm bought gala table at Grand Lark Pavilion, municipal fundraiser. Might be educational to observe. He'll attend. Restraining order distance maintained by venue size and notified security. I wore professional Navy suit. Mom texted separation papers filed that afternoon. Marcus didn't know yet. Pavilion glittered. Marcus held court near stage. Laughing loud with mayor and officials. Speech scheduled 8:30 on transparency and integrity. At 8:20, paralegal delivered envelope to MC. Officials checked phones as ripple spread. Marcus began. Transparency and integrity aren't just words. MC interrupted publicly with notice of evidence preservation from AG. Auditor. Plaintiffs. Subcontractor complains over non-payment. Room silenced. Marcus gripped podium, white-knuckled. Near registration. Ethan's employer demo screen suddenly switched feeds. Every fence needs eyes, his voice boomed. Grainy backyard footage played. Marcus striking me. Timestamp clear. His face visible. Screams. Security moved, but Ethan stepped back innocently. Equipment malfunction. Marcus charged toward him shouting. Officers intervened, citing TRO violation since I was present. He spotted me, raged across room. You manipulative, Judge Morrison. Named in ledger. Stood. Escort him out. Disturbing peace. Irony thick. Marcus shoved an officer. Taser warned. Handcuffs clicked at 8:47. Phones captured everything. Journal reporter typed furiously. Program ended early. Patricia leaned in. Preservation notices. Hit bank. Bonding company. Insurer simultaneously. Fraud clauses triggering Monday. Ethan later. Just demonstrating clarity. Don't like bullies who think titles protect them. Monday avalanche hit Hale Builders. Council suspended contracts live on municipal site. Bank froze credit line. Bonding suspended. Insurance canceled retroactively. Subcontractors formed creditors committee. Filed emergency preservation for $1.47 million unpaid. AG called. Preparing charges, fraud, laundering, racketeering. Offered whistleblower status. 15 to 20 years likely. Mom called. Accounts frozen. Can't pay bail. Investigators with warrant searched house. Found more ledgers. Cash bundles. Montana properties unknown to her. Tuesday Special Journal Edition. Collapsed timeline. Shell connections back 8 years. FBI joined interstate laundering probe. Former bookkeeper Sophie Mendez contacted. Fired for questioning. Had 3 years records including coerced false invoices. Threats over husband's immigration. Devastating evidence. Wednesday civil suit filed. For $0.2 million RICO claim piercing veil. Personal assets recoverable. Mom moved to hotel. Over pancakes, she noted retirement accounts predate marriage might be safe. House lost but never liked it anyway, too many locked doors. Planning Oregon stay with sister. 58. Divorced from criminal. Starting over. Terrifying. You're brave. Just ran out of excuses. Thursday federal charges announced against Marcus. 8 others including councilmen. Officers. Nephew flipped for immunity. Friday company shuttered. Equipment seized. Contracts voided. Monday courthouse. Permanent TRO hearing brief. Signed 2 years renewable. Nearby Marcus arraigned in orange. Bail held high after officer assault. Clerk summoned me as fraud trial witness. Administration invoked clawback. $1.02 million recovered. Federal magistrate denied asset unfreeze. Licensing board revoked permanently. Divorce papers served in holding. Final fraud tally. $3.7 million documented. Likely double. My spreadsheets mapped it. News crews swarmed, but I slipped outside entrance where Ethan walked his dog coincidentally. Footage requested by more agencies. Projects in other counties too. Ripples spread, more probes. I packed at hotel. Ardenville approved remote work while apartment hunting far away. Watched council vote new oversight. Dual signatures. Audits. Whistleblower protections. Rats reforming the ship. Sophie called. Qualified for program. Potential substantial recovery. You lit the match. Mom texted. Marcus facing 25 years max if convicted all counts. It's over. I sat in my car. Engine running. Looking at hotel and mirror. Ridgewood sprawled under sun. Corruption fumbling toward accountability. Handcuffs clicked in memory. But satisfying snap was puzzle pieces locking. Every spreadsheet. Photo. Documented lie chaining Marcus. I drove toward I-25. New city, where no one knew me. Wooden fence would stand years. But secrets now public record in courts and FBI files. Every gap became justice window. Best revenge wasn't dramatic. Methodical. Thorough, like proper audit. Metal sound I'd remember most wasn't handcuffs. It was gavel falling repeatedly. Ledger closing on empire built on intimidation. What would you have done? Stay silent for family peace or document until truth exploded?